unethical leadership for me, again, goes back to intention versus impact, because what we're not saying, I'm not, proposing that people are intentionally unethical, right? I actually very rarely meet someone who I would even hazard a guess that they're intentionally going about the world trying to cause harm. So unethical leadership, let's remove our good intentions from that for a second and just look at like what actually is ethics, because for a lot of professionals or for a lot of us, ethics boil down to things you shouldn't do. Like rules of behavior, so codes of ethics for, a profession are usually lists of rules of ways not to screw up, right, with your power, right? They're essentially this like the one half of the power dynamic, which is don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And it's really about covering your butt and making sure that that's what most ethical codes are kind of oriented towards. And so ethics gets a bit of a bad rap as a result of, right? No one wants to go before the ethical review committee at any given time, right? But that list of what not to do isn't actually often that helpful, because that's usually, fairly common sense or fairly like connected to some sort of moral value that we have. Ethics for me, it really goes down to our own values and the values of the system that we're within. And so unethical leadership is leadership that is misaligned with values, behaviors and actions that we take as leaders that are self-serving potentially, meeting our own needs at the expense of somebody else's needs, whether they're our employees or the system, or centering the system's needs at the expense of our employees. That's probably the one that happens the most. Like, yeah, I don't really care that you have that thing. You need to be at work by X point in time, or that report needs to be on my desk by Friday at whatever, right? So it's that awareness of values, back to that awareness, will, and skill. And I think it is will first. It is that willingness and to do that self-reflection, to say, where is my behavior or the actions or the decisions that I'm making? Where is it congruent with my values and where is it incongruent? Because anytime we're taking action that's incongruent with our values, I think we're at risk of this unethical leadership. And so that's the perspective that I'm hoping people take from this conversation. It has actually nothing to do with our intentions, because I make a lot of assumptions that our intentions are actually good. 99% of the time, we're trying to have a positive impact in the world and use our power well. And yet these misuses of power start to occur.